Yo, what's going on? I'm trying something different today. Trying to come in to a round of applause because I always mess up kind of the intro sequence in terms of timing. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different. But it is 1 o'clock here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. And we're normally Tuesdays are a trivia Tuesday kind of thing, but this week's gonna be a little bit unusual. I'm heading out to Eugene for the World Championships on Thursday, so it's gonna be a little bit of a condensed week. We did a live stream yesterday, we'll have one today, and then tomorrow, and then I'll be out and about, and I just got my kind of finalized schedule for my time out there. ASICS is going to be sending me out there. We're going to be doing a ton of group runs, basically something every day. We'll go over it in a little bit more detail in just a sec. But the first thing I want to do is welcome everyone who's listening in on the audio only version. If you're out there for a run, hopefully you're having a great run out there today. Today's run, yesterday we were talking about going to Moraine State Park. I went there today, but the park doesn't open until 8 and there's a locked gate. So I couldn't go there today. So I had to do something else. Went on a slightly different route. And it got me running through like downtown Crystal Lake. I was like, there's like bike trails, but they had to connect in kind of weird ways. So I was on the road a little bit, running through a construction zone, but I got it done. Hopefully your run is a little bit smoother than mine. Or at least the weather was nice today. Everyone watching this on YouTube later, not live, welcome to you guys as well. Hopefully you're at a relaxing point in your day. Maybe you're putting some dishes away after dinner. Maybe we're doing some laundry. Hopefully all that is going well. All right, let's see who we got in the chat here. We got Frank, who says hello, and that the endorphin speeds are on sale for $80 from Saucony. That is an amazing price. What I always tell people is if you're looking to not spend full retail for this year's latest and greatest shoes, rather than going down a tier of shoe, get a last year's. Some years, there's a big difference between like last year's and this year's shoe. Some years there isn't. So for the Endorphin Speed 2, I haven't tried the Speed 3 yet, but the Endorphin Speed 2 was really good. And at $80, that's a great price. All right, JC says, howdy y'all, missed the triumphant turn of the live stream. Hope you're all well. Well, good to see you here though. And Luis says, yo, what's going on? And Vincent says, what's up? Brutus said, I finally made it. Thanks for stopping by, Brutus. And if anyone's new here or if you came here with a running question, put like some emojis in front of it so I could see it really quick. And let me know if you came here with something that you'd like to have answered. I want to make sure you get that answer before you head out. So welcome to you guys as well. All right, let's see who else we got here. We got Sean says, hey, everyone. He's waving because he's on the Peloton again today and giving the angry hamstring another day to rest. Well, Sean, you just ran a marathon. So I feel like, right? You just ran a marathon. Yeah. So you gotta take it easy. No rush. Especially if your hamstring's acting up on you. Kit says, yo, Kopuzu, what's going on? What's going on, Kit? Good to see you. Stevie76 says, yo, what's going on as well? Mark Soundcheck says, hey, Mike and everyone. Great to be back at the live stream. Usually can't watch you to work, but happy to be here today. Well, we're glad to have you here today, Mark. So awesome. Thomas Wen says, hey, Cohen Run family, back from Salem, Massachusetts. Just received a new pair of Brooks Caldera 6. I can't wait to try them. That's the new one this year, right? Super tall, super thick stack height, nitro foam. That looks nice. I think I might have to try that one. Sober Gummy says, I just registered for the Tracksmith Twilight 5K here in DC. Are you going to go to either of the Chicago meets? Oh, man, that looks so good. I just saw some images from the Boston Twilight. So for you guys that don't know, for those of you guys who don't know, Tracksmith is putting on a series of 5,000 meter. I think they're 5,000 meter races. I think they're on the track. So they're doing a series of them all over the country, like LA, DC, Boston, Chicago. I think there's ones in New York as well. And they're hosting these events so people can show up, run a fast time in the summer, and just have a good time. And there's 2 of them in Chicago. And I'm not going to be in town. I think the one in Chicago, there's 2. I think kind of like one to set your time and then the second one to see if you can beat it later in the summer. The first one, I think I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be in Eugene when the first one hits. And then the second one, I think is really close to Falmouth Road Race time, like later in August. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be around for that, but I would love to be able to check it out. I just think it's going to be a fun event. I like the way that Tracksmith is showing up for the community and putting on events like this. So if I can make it out, I will. But I'm also in the suburbs now too, so it's like a little bit harder for me to get to some of these things. But I'm gonna make it a priority to go to the events that I can go to, even when local isn't quite so easy for me anymore. I mean, the thing is, like, I used to live like 2.5 miles from the first one. I could have ran there, but now I'll have to do a little bit of driving. But that's all right. Luis says, Laura Galvan and Patricio will be in Oregon and other Mexican elites. Yeah, I had a chance to meet Laura last December in Texas. So it'll be interesting. Like, I kind of been in this space a little while now, and I'm starting to meet some more of the pros. I'm not like a podcaster that knows like all the pros and has interviewed them all and stuff. So I'm still just like that weird dude. It's like I'm still just Kung Fu Panda. That's like, who let this guy in here a lot of the time. But I could at least be like, hey, we met before. They might not remember. They probably won't remember, but at least I'll be able to say that, and have that. Maybe over time they'll start to remember, but it'll be good to see. Hopefully I'll get to run into her again. And I'm just really looking forward to some of this other schedule that I have going on. There's a lot of fun stuff. And so let's start talking about it while we're on the subject. All right. So I'm going to be in Eugene 14th is when I leave Thursday. That's a travel day. And then Wednesday, the 20th is also a travel day. So basically I'll be there doing stuff from the 15th through the 19th. And I have a group run that I'm doing every day. And they're not all like me. Like I'm not like the feature attraction of, well, maybe on one or two of them I am, but I don't think I'm a feature attraction of any of these runs. But these are events that I'll be going to, and I'll be doing one basically every morning. The time's going to change when we're up in Eugene. Friday, there's going to be one in the morning. This one's a little bit later of a start, 8:30 in the morning, at the ASICS van at Eugene Running Company. So that's going to be there. And then Saturday, that's going to be a really fun one as well. We're going to leave from the Uplift house, which is a house that ASICS has like rented out and like redone up. I haven't seen any of the images from that yet. I know they've been working on it for the last couple of months, I think. But that'll be kind of like a home base for me there. That's not where I'm living, but that's where I'll be spending a lot of my time. But that run is going to be in the morning on the 16th with Believe in the Run and a New Generation Track and Field. And then somehow me as well in that group. So that'll be a really fun one to do as well. The time on that, I don't remember the time. It's early. I want to say it's like 6:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock. If you want to try on, it's amazing. You can try on Novablast 3s. At least that's what I have in my notes. I can't confirm it yet. I'll have to double check. But in my notes here, it says there'll be Novablast 3 and Magic Speed 2 try-ons. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen like a bunch of people try on Novablast 3s yet. I haven't seen a bunch of people try on Magic Speed 2s yet. I just got mine in a little while ago. I'm going to be going on a run with them tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. And then that's going to be Saturday. So get there really early if you want to try on some Novablast 3s. Sunday is the men's marathon. So there's the run that I'll be doing that day is the 5K. You get to run on the course the same time as the elites, but you got to run ahead of them, and you can't get lapped. So you got to run within I think a 5K within 31 minutes. I thought it was 35, but I think they've changed it. They made it a little bit more tight. So you got to run a 31-minute 5K or faster in order to participate. But I'll be there, and then I'll be there along the route, trying to chase after the men running the marathon. So that'll be an event there. And then, during all these days, there's other I'll be at the stadium watching the events and stuff like that. So I'll also be around. But in terms of if you want to get together for a run, these are the runs. Monday, the following day, I don't think that I have. Let me see here. Do I have a run? I don't think I have a run scheduled on Monday. But that's like the main event that I'm going there for. I'm super excited to see. It's the women's marathon. So I just feel like that's going to be such a fun event, and I'm going to definitely try to capture as much footage of that as possible. Although there might be broadcast rules that I have to adhere to while I'm out there. So we'll have to see exactly how much I can show you guys, so that we might be running into some issues. But I'll have to have some conversations with ASICS just to make sure. But I'll be there for that. And that's a day where I'll be getting a tour. Not just me. I think I'll probably be going with a bunch of other media people. I'll get a private tour of Hayward Field on Monday. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then Tuesday's my last day in town. 7 a.m. There's going to be a group run. Believe in the Run will be there with me. And there'll be a special guest as well for that run. That's going to be leaving out of the ASICS Uplift house. So a lot of the stuff kind of early in the morning, but that also makes room for watching events all afternoon and all evening. So that's my schedule. I'll put out, I started putting some stuff in my Instagram stories, but I will update this description once we're done here in terms of everywhere that I'm going to be. So it's going to be, pretty action packed. I'm going to be so tired by the time we're done, but you know what? There'll be time to sleep when I get back. Martha says, hey, we got cheated. No Novablast 3s were available to try in Denver. Yeah, I know. I really wish you guys could have tried them on. But there were no, I'm surprised that they said that there's going to be Novablast 3s at this event with Eugene Running Company. Because I just saw the ASICS people a couple of days ago in San Francisco, Sunday. And they were like, yeah, there's none around. And so I think that everyone's crossing fingers that the shipment is going to be coming in on time, so they have enough to do a shoe demo. So it should be a little stressful for other people, but we'll see. Hopefully that will come through. Let's see. Andrew says, what shoes does one wear for a 5K on the track? The options are this is a great question. Are brand new Alphafly Next Percent, OG Vaporfly Next Percent with about 100 miles on them, and then Endorphin Speed 2, or really cheap mid-distance spikes. I might go with, for a 5K on the track, I'd probably go with the Next Percent. Yeah, no, not the Alphaflies. I'd probably go with the Next Percent. 100 miles, yeah, that's still a speedy shoe. I wouldn't pick the Endorphin Speed 2. Well, maybe I would do the mid-distance spikes, but I'm not really fast enough to really require spikes for a 5K. But I think that the Next Percents would definitely work. Which, by the way, would be technically illegal to do. I just put out a Primex video today, the 100-mile review of that shoe, and everyone's always like, it's illegal, why would you ever run in it? So would racing a 5K in Vaporflies, because they're too tall for a track race. But my understanding is, for USATF purposes, you can qualify for USATF stuff using illegal shoes, but you can't set world standards using. So if you wanted to qualify for Worlds, for example, or if you wanted to qualify for Olympic standard, then it wouldn't work. But if you're just trying to make the U.S. Olympic trials meet, I think it's okay. I know, Andrew, you're a regular human like I am, so it's not a big deal for us. But I think sometimes people get really excited about the illegality of shoes, but it's not as unusual of a thing for a shoe to be illegal, I guess. It's kind of weird. And Andrew says, yeah, I am not fast enough to need spikes for a track 5K. Yeah, so I think maybe the spikes might not be it, or flats. Let's see. Rainrunner says, all this ASICS content makes me want to try the ASICS again. Wasn't a fan of the Gel Nimbus or the Cumulus, though. I thought that the Nimbus was okay in the last couple of years, but it was forgettable because I kept forgetting that I had run in them. I have to look it up to remember that I had run in them. Those latest version, new foams, fantastic. I actually think they're really good. Well, the Nimbus still gave me problems because of the gel in the forefoot. The Cumulus, though, I feel like is a really good daily trainer. But there's some people that are just I'm not going to run in a Cumulus, not going to run a Nimbus. That's okay. There's still a lot of other great options out there. I would look at the Nimbus Lite. I really actually like the Nimbus Lite 3. Great shoe to travel in as well. And then, where is my Nimbus Lite 3? Well, since we just moved, I'm missing maybe a quarter of my shoes, and I can't find it. I'm also missing one Hoka Mach 5. I have the left. I don't know where the right is. So I got to find that one. But the Nimbus Lite 3 is great. The Novablast 3 is going to be awesome for you guys too. So there's other options that I think you can try that I would probably recommend first for most people. Erica Davis says, hi, I just completed the Oregon Half Ironman in Salem. Awesome. Congratulations. Let's do this one. Good job. And she signed up After following my try journey last year, I didn't die. I wasn't last, and I smiled the whole time. Hope to say hi in Eugene. Awesome. That's so cool. I hope to see you there too. Yeah, I came in last in the swim, so you bettered me by a lot, and it was a half Ironman too, so that's like a much longer swim. So super kudos to you. That's awesome. Great work. That's awesome. All right, Mark Soundcheck says, by the way, congrats on the move to Crystal Lake. I did my student teaching at Crystal Lake Central High School back in the day. Awesome town. Live and run in Libertyville now. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I think that my kids, I don't think that they're going to go to Crystal Lake Central High. I think they're going to go to a different high school. There's a couple in the area. We're pretty much right on the border of like Crystal Lake and Prairie Grove. I don't know if you know where that is, Mark, and for the rest of you guys. So I think for elementary school, they'll be going to that, like they're, even though we're in Crystal Lake mailing address, we're closer to Prairie. I'm not sure exactly how all that stuff works, but you know, well, I mean, actually, I'm also not sure. So we'll have to figure all that pretty soon. All right, let me just keep scrolling down. Oh, and Frank says, in case anyone missed it, Prime X's are $105 with the promo code today. What? For $105, that's impulse purchase for a shoe, right? Oh, man. That's amazing price, Frank. Nice. Yeah, because I saw some of them, like on Running Warehouse, they didn't have all the sizes, but they had a lot of the sizes that they did have. It was on sale for like $155 or something like that, like much cheaper than the full price of the Prime X. And I just feel like it's a lot of fun. And I'm definitely going to keep running in that shoe because I'm going to compare it to like the Super Comp trainer that's coming out. And there's going to be a couple other really tall shoes that are coming out this year, I think this year, that I'm going to want to be able to compare it against. I think that the Prime X, at least what I saw as everyone was sharing like images of the Prime X2 on Instagram and stuff, like leaks, but that came out and I think it's just a color update. So like, I don't know if we're not getting a Prime X2 or if they're going the way of the SL20 with the Prime X and like, they're just going to update it and never call it anything different. I'm not really exactly sure what's happening with that one. So, but I have my original Prime X Prime, I guess I'll call it. That's a great dad joke. So I'm gonna call it that, and I'm gonna keep running in that one because it's still really good. Speaking of the illegal shoes, where is it? Eric says that illegal usually means fun. Yeah, I guess it does. And that shoe is a lot of fun. And Adam wants to know, doubling down on the dad jokes, does Amazon have a Prime Day deal on the Prime X? You know what? It's been a long time since I bought shoes on Amazon, and I'm not saying every time, but the couple of times that I've done it, I always get very nervous about it because I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm getting when I buy a shoe on Amazon. And a lot of times it's like, can't find like, I don't know who's selling on shoes on Amazon, but it doesn't seem to be like regular retailers. It seems to be like resellers, not resellers, but people that are doing like the Ross flip, like going to Ross, going to TJ Maxx, buying shoes and trying to flip them there, you know? That's what it seems to be a lot of on Amazon. I bought my first pair of ASICS in a long time was on Amazon. It was the Dynaflight 2. Actually worked out pretty good. But yeah. Andrew has a pacing question for the Twilight 5K. He's trying to get under 19 in the 5K. There are an 18 minute to 19 minute and a 19 to 20 paced heats. Go with the fast heat and hold on, or go with the slow heat and kick past the pacer. I would say go with the faster heat. You're not going to be dead last, you know, because I think a lot of people are going to get in there that are running that are shooting for 18, but probably are in 19 to 20 minute fitness, you know? And so that's where I might go if you're going to get under 19. See, if I were to do it, I think we're right about the same place. I don't know. That's a close one. I would say go with the 18 to 19 and just try to hold on at the back of the pack. Thing being, you got to be real disciplined in the beginning though, because everyone's going to go out hot. So that's the only thing. If you I don't know, I might go with the 19 to 20 because I know that I go out too fast, especially if I was going to do something on a track. So I might go with the 19-minute group, so that way I don't get out too hot. Here's the other thing to keep in mind. Meets like this, depending on the weather, if there's a weather issue or depending on how many people go, they might have to combine heats or shift heats around. So like just have a plan, but don't be too dead set on it and be ready to be flexible is what I would say. Eric says, isn't Zappos just the shoe sales place for Amazon? Does Amazon own Zappos? I don't think that they do. Do they? I had no idea. And Martha says, I haven't bought shoes on Amazon since my earliest years as a runner. Multiple Brooks, Pure Flow, and Cadence, and the Launch 6. Then discovered this channel. Oh, okay. All right. I've never run in the Brooks, Pure Flow, the Cadence. I think I've run in a Launch before. Interesting. Very cool. And Frank Lillier says, go with the faster heat. See, I don't know. Now the more I think about it, the more I'm like, go with the slower heat. But just because of the starting issue. But at the same time, like, I think that if I were in a heat like that and I were out front and I was successfully hitting that under 19, I would be terrified. I'd much rather just like focus on the back of another guy's singlet, and it'd probably have a little red and white tag on it because it's a Tracksmith event. So I'd just rather just like focus on that and be like, don't let that get too far, So faster heat might be the way to go. Oh, Bob says timing on Friday and the heats are already set. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm saying, Bob, is that like when I went to the Trials of Miles, the track meet at Icon Stadium, there was supposed to be a bunch of other events, and they had to combine them because there was thunderstorms and stuff, and then they were running out of time. So I'm just saying, like, it's be prepared to be flexible. James says, hold up, are you competing at Worlds? Yeah, I'm maybe competing for the fastest guy running along a course with a GoPro. I'm not the fastest cameraman, that's for sure. But I might be the fastest guy trying to chase a marathon pack around. I might be the only guy. I think there'll be others. But we'll see how it goes there. But yeah, so I'll be up in Eugene. So yeah. Dad Runner Out says, anyone see the new ad for Brooks Glycerin on YouTube that shows everybody severely heel striking? It's odd. You know what I think is odd? I think that's just the way that shoe companies like to film their shoes, and like how that they're trying to convey that a shoe is soft. And the best way to do that is to really compress the heel, and then you get that squish of the shoe. I think that's the why they're doing that. I don't think that they're saying that the glycerin. I haven't seen the ad, but like I know like the kind of content that you're talking about. Like I see it anytime I see like an Instagram ad with video for a shoe, and they're like, are all the models here heel striking? And they're like, or the comments are like, why can't they have the actual pros that are sponsored by this brand in this commercial rather than all these actors who are clearly not like runners? Maybe they run, but they're not like, they're actors first, runners second. Why can't they get runners to do it? So I think that's like a thing. But yeah, I just don't feel like that shows up well. I feel like, I don't know. If you can't make the shoe look like it compresses a lot and you want it to look like it compresses a lot, then you got to find a different aspect of the shoe to show, I guess. But I don't know. All right. Sean Chandler says, how do you record sound when using the 360 cam? Let me tell you what. I detest the sound out of the Insta360 One X2. The first one, the 1X Prime or version 1, whatever you want to call it, that one actually did a pretty good job. And the thing I liked about it is that it did a much better job at isolating each channel. So I think there's more than 2 microphones on it, but it basically like one side of the camera came in one channel on like the right-hand side, for example, and the other half came in on the left-hand side. And if there was wind coming in on the right-hand side, you could isolate that, mute it, and then mirror to make it stereo and use the other side, which would have less wind on it because of the square-ish nature of the camera, and hopefully you have a usable audio signal. The newer one tries to get fancier with its audio and like wind rejection technology. And so it's basically what you get on the one side is the same as what you get on the other. And I can't isolate individual mics. And the audio is always just absolute garbage. Like my San Francisco trip, like whenever I'm walking around or talking to the camera in the 360 camera, there's just so much wind noise, there's so much everything else noise, and it's not capturing what I wanted to capture. So the answer is the 360 camera has its own mics. The problem is on Insta360 One X2, it's terrible. So I think that what I'm going to do is when I'm going, and I think I'm going to make a video about like the stuff that I'm packing for Eugene in terms of like, because everything is going to need to be real run and gun. I'm going to have a chance to interview some athletes, but I'm not going to have like a full setup ready. It's going to have to be super fast, like sit down and start talking kind of thing. I don't know if I'm going to get into any mix zones. I doubt it because I'm not really a journalist. So I won't be able to get mix zones, but I might be able to, literally holler at some athletes as they're going by. So like I'll need a variety of things. But I think what I'm going to start doing whenever I'm going to try and film and talk with the Insta360 is have an external like lavalier or lav recorder, however you want to say it. I've been using the DJI wireless lav, and that system is great. And so I think I'm probably going to start using that and then sync up the video and the audio separately in post. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Andrew says 100% about the One X2 sound issues. It can be cleaned up a little bit in Premiere Pro, but it's much worse than the One X. Exactly. And so the One X2 has like a voice isolation feature in the Insta360 Studio and like the desktop software, but I feel like that is not great. And then when you try to do noise reduction or clean up in Final Cut, it helps, but it's also still not great. And like it goes like in and out in terms of like it can't ever figure out like what you're doing. And so like the camera just like I don't know how it decides which audio to emphasize and which audio to de-emphasize, and it's just miserable. So yeah, Andrew, like they need to fix that. Like it's a big step in the wrong direction. So Martha says, the ad, talking about dad runner, Al mentioned the Brooks glycerin ad. Martha says, the ad reminds me of ads that have musicians, quote unquote, holding instruments the wrong way, but they're always good looking and smiling. Here's the thing. Well, you're a flautist, so you would know. But if someone held like a flute like the wrong way, I probably wouldn't notice. Like a saxophone, you would notice, but like a clarinet, I probably wouldn't, unless I could really see like the reed, but if it was just like a further away shot, I wouldn't notice at all, but I'm sure that jumps out to you, but that's pretty funny. I'm going to have to look at that now next time I see like musicians holding instruments. Daniel Clark says, he's a heel striker, but he's trying to make more of an effort to land midfoot and forefoot. Daniel, I'd say like, as someone who is currently tinkering with his own foot strike, I will say, try not to tinker around with your foot strike too much. I feel like your body will figure itself out as you, like your foot strike and your gait, I feel like always are kind of like snapshots, representations of your fitness. Your body has a way of naturally optimizing itself for what it needs to do to get through the activity. And I feel like, like it might be putting the cart before the horse in a way of saying, to tinker around with your foot strike. So that's just be careful about it. Martha says, oh, but she says that I would definitely notice though if someone was supposed to be playing a flute and they had a grin on their face. Well, I mean, like maybe it's more of like a jazz ensemble and they're taking a break. They're resting. They're playing the rest measures. I don't know. Dad around says the Cars for Kids is the worst fake musicians. I mean, but I don't think that did anyone think that they were actually playing though? I don't think that we're supposed to think that they're actually playing. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, and Dad right now says like, yeah, and I think this is the way to do it too. If you are concerned about it, and I am concerned about it, I think that my weird foot strike is a function of my weak glutes or not properly firing glutes. And so I do stuff like my mobility workout routine, which is all like the weak glutes. I think were also part of when I had runner's knee. So like I do a mobility routine before my runs to hopefully correct that and get everything kind of firing correctly. And Dad Runner says, for me, the best way to modify the gait is through proper exercise techniques that address the weak areas. Yeah. And I think that like if I were more concerned about it, I would do drills before each run too, but that just seems like a lot more work sometimes. I know I should, but I don't. Lou Boys wants to know, are you planning on running the Hoka half? I think that the Chicago Half Marathon this year, is that what you're talking about? Hoka's the sponsor, title sponsor. I think they were the title sponsor last year too. I'm not signed up for it, but I'm currently planning on it. But I think by September, I gotta reevaluate it a little bit. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I don't have any trips planned for September, and I feel like so far from like, this month and last month, this whole year has been really crazy. But I think from like August all the way to December, it's like one trip a month. And I like that amount. That's a good number of being away from home. December is actually going to be really crazy. Really crazy. As busy as I am now. It's going to be awesome. I can't tell you about it all yet, but it's going to be super awesome. But I don't have any trips planned for September. So I'm thinking like, well, maybe I should find another town to run in. I don't know. Yeah, Martha says, thanks, Co, for corroborating what I just wrote Daniel about being influenced on foot strike. Too much of that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that like look at those things. Yeah, I mean, I already explained it, but like I think that there's a lot of people that think about it as like, well, that's how fast people run, so I need to run that way. But I feel like they run that way because they've been working hard. And not that you haven't been working hard, but they've been like working at it for years. They've been running for years at a high level, So like when you get the fitness, the foot strike tends to fix itself. Like when I go back and even look at some of my videos from just a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, the foot strike is not very different, but for me, noticeably different. So I think it'll change. Alana, what's that? Yoldersma says, "Hey Mike, been loving all your travel vlogs lately. Any plans to make it out near Sacramento again this year for CIM?" Yes, I do have plans. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna book a hotel. I got an email saying that CIM is 90% full, and I feel like this is the year where it'll sell out early. I mean, it's only July. Usually CIM doesn't sell out until like closer towards like Chicago Marathon, I feel like. And I feel like sometimes people like have a bad Chicago and then sign up for CIM. This year, I think you're going to have to sign up early. So yeah, but yeah, I will be there. I will be there. So I will do a shakeout run. It'll be fun. I'll be coming straight from Texas because I'm going to do like the TRE CIM double again. So like that week I'll be in Texas, in Austin. Later in the week I'll be in CIM to run a marathon. But yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a shakeout run. But I think I'm gonna. That might be like a time to run fast. So like I'm running. I'll be in like Chicago Marathon, New York Marathon, and then CIM. And so I feel like Chicago I'm gonna be. I think currently the plan is I'm pacing my running buddy. And then, so that's not going to be like a super hard race. If I were going to try to race that for a PR, I'd probably have to start getting ready soon. And I'm not ready for that. I want more unstructured running. And so I think at some point after Chicago, that's when I'll start really thinking about like hunkering down for CIM. But that should be a fun day. Stephen Robertson says, I was working at a sports shop and an advertising firm asked if we could loan them shoes for an ad for a running magazine. Asked why they don't use me to do as I have shoes. I did an ad for Coca-Cola. Oh, there you go. Awesome. Oh, that's cool. Did the shoe shop? I don't understand why they did an ad for a running magazine. I don't understand why the advertising firm had to procure the shoes. That seems odd to me. But did they get the shoes? But I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, I got an email about doing like a photo shoot with not just me. I think it was like a bunch of people. But I think I'm gonna be out of town the time that goes on. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that one. It was for a running magazine and a running brand for leading up to the Chicago Marathon. They wanted to photograph some Chicagoans. But I'm not going to be in town. And also, I don't know if it was a legit request or not. It was one of those things that you get in your Instagram, DMs. So I'm always like, I don't know. Is this legit? I'm not sure. Elliot Michael says, I hope to see you at the Hoke Half if you do go. Need a shakeout run event there to meet you. Oh, maybe this year I'll do one if I go. I'm not sure. We'll do it the day before. Maybe I probably would come down for I could just drive. It's not that far. It's like to get all the way down to where the half marathon starts, probably have to leave like an hour and a half early. I'm a little bit further out now, but I'll have to keep it in mind. Evangelos Kolokotronis says, hey, Cozy, any plans to come to Canada? Maybe participate in the Montreal Marathon in September? Oh, well, September. I can't do another marathon. I already have 3 more marathons I'm doing this year. But yeah, not any immediate plans. My wife and I really want to go to Toronto just to visit. We think we would like it there. It's just been on our list of places that are like not too far, but far enough away. It'd be fun, like long weekend without the kids to go. I really want to go. And Eric says, man, I need to get back to Chicago. Just not sure when it'll happen. Maybe I can squeeze in something in October or looking at the calendar. And Adam's saying the travel race for September, Hooker Crook 12K in Highlands. It's a Masters Championship. That's actually a really good idea, Adam. Maybe I'll do that one. Here's the thing, though. That area, it's by the beach. It's on Sandy Hook. It's always windy, so just be aware of that. That's going to happen. But yeah, maybe I'll do that instead of the half marathon. I don't know. It'd be a good excuse to go back home, see my parents, and then I think they're going to come out in August. They want to see the new house, and then maybe I'll go see them in September then. So I think there we go. Brendan says, come on down to Halifax for some hilly marathons. You'd love it, I promise. No. That's what people say when they try to get you to run a hilly marathon, that you're going to enjoy it or that it's not that bad or it's rolling, But no, I don't really like hilly marathons. Although there's some hills around here where I live, so I feel like I'm going to be better prepared for hilly stuff in the future. Also, there's actually stairs in this house now, so I'm like doing way more legwork than I used to, because I used to just live in an elevator building. Now I got if I got to go from here in the basement upstairs, that's 2 flights of stairs. That's way more flights of stairs than I normally do in a day. And if I do that multiple times, that's a workout. I feel like that's a lot of work for me. Maybe I will be ready for some hills. Shannon says Chicago CIMCO was the 3rd marathon this year. I've been talking about it, like you guys know, but I think they haven't told me I can announce it yet. So I'll just tell you guys. But I'm gonna be running in New York. So I got contacted by a PR company that's working with New Balance, and they're looking for some people to hit the streets of New York. And so I think they're going to be sending me some shoes and stuff soon, some gear. There'll be some training content leading up to the New York Marathon. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll be there in New York. We'll do I was going to go to New York anyway without a bib and just hang out like I did last year. And I forget who I was talking to about it. I think I was talking to Dez at DezFit. That when I make a video, if I'm in the race, it'll get maybe 20 to 30,000 views. If I'm not in the race, if I don't show my face in it or show my face very little, then I can get like 100,000 views on a race. So my last year's New York Marathon video has like 100,000 views on it, which is some of the best performing videos that I have. For me to hit more than like 30 to 40,000 views on any video, a single video is a lot for me. And so like the New York Marathon video, because it had Molly, it had Tommy Ribs. Ashton Mateo made a cameo appearance. Kyle McHugh, Chris Chavez was in there. Tim Rossi. So there's just like a bunch of people. And it was the New York Marathon to boot, you know? And so like that one had a lot of views, but like my Chicago Marathon video is like 30,000. So it's like the less I put of me, the better the video does. So, you know, it's going to affect the channel negatively if I run the New York Marathon rather than film it, but I think it'll be okay. It'll be worth it. Yeah. Let's see. Daniel Clark says, "Hey, what's up, Daniel?" He says, "Also running New York City. See you in November. Awesome." And Shannon says, "Woohoo, so fun." Yeah, I'm really excited. Sue Ann said, "That's awesome, Co." Jody's here. What's going on, Jody? And Eric Trapp says, "Nice." And Alana says, "Congrats." Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it. One Horsepower says, so then do you have to run New York in New Balances? I mean, that kind of like if they're inviting you to go on their bib, you know, there'd be, kind of a prerequisite there that you would do that. So, you know, I haven't seen like, I don't know if I would do like the SC trainer. So it's not the RC Elite 3, it's the SC Elite 3, even though it's went from RC to SC. They're still making it the third race shoe, so it'd be the SC Elite 3. So I'll probably run in that one. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't tried it on yet. But if it's an improvement over the RC Elite 2, which I ran CIM in last year, I think that'll be pretty cool. Or then there's like the SC trainer. I think they're not calling the SC Elite. They're calling the SC Comp and the SC Trainer. I think that's the nomenclature. So probably one of those two shoes. And Sue says, "Hope to see you in New York." Yeah, we'll definitely do like a shakeout of some sort. I don't know like what my like media like obligations, if you want to put it that way, are going to be with New Balance while I'm out there. If I'll get to like interview some New Balance people or what other kind of events they might have planned. But at some point I'll have to go get a bib and I'll have to do a shakeout. So hopefully we can all get together. Louis says, "If you show your face, I'll still watch the video." Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And Martha says, I think that it's the comparable rarity of the videos you post of big events that you don't participate in. Yeah, I'd like to think that too, but I also think it's kind of a funny, cheeky way of saying it, is that like people prefer it when I'm not in the video. I think that's just a funny kind of joke, All right. Adam says that there is a big running event starting Friday that's not in Eugene. It's the Hard Rock 100. I saw that Dylan Bowman just posted a video of his last year's race on Free Trail. I think it's on the Free Trail YouTube channel. I haven't had a chance to watch that one yet, but yeah, that's pretty exciting. Like that's an event that like I'd like to go. That's an event I'll watch. I'm not gonna do that one. Although Doozer's like, "You should do it." And I'm like, that's easier. That's easy for you to say, But that's an event that I would like to cover. That and like Leadville, one of the two. I think I would have such a hard time just at the altitude. Yeah, Greg says, "I'm really looking forward to New York City this fall, but a little worried about the bridges." Same, Greg. I hear you. But now I feel like there's some pretty like short, punchy hills here that I feel like I could do some work on. So yeah. And Greg, he says also that he's excited for the New Balance Super Comp line. I am too. So like I'm excited for that. I haven't seen anyone. I've heard some people tell me about their experiences with the Super Comp trainer. I won't share those with you guys because I'll share my experiences once I do ever get a chance to run in them. I don't know when they're going to come out, But I feel like a lot of the shoes are still not yet released for this year because of supply chain, basically. So I think anyway. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll get that soon. All right, let's do a couple more. Eric says, where'd it go? Can't wait to watch the Killian versus Francois duel. Others too, but those two, oof. Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be hard for me to follow it this year, I think. I'm going to just be immersed in Eugene stuff. And I think I'm going to have a hard time just keeping up with Eugene in Eugene. So, like, I'll have to watch all the videos about it later, I think. Oh, okay. Devin Patterson says August 7th for the SC trainer. Okay. So, well, that'll be in time for New York for me. And Eric says he's also hoping that Courtney Dauwalter has a better Hard Rock experience this weekend. It always seems to me like with Courtney, she either has a fantastic race or like stomach issues. It's like, I mean, I guess like for her Colorado FKT, that one was like some sort of like insane, intense pneumonia that got her. But usually for her, it's either like she wins or she's throwing up. Like one of the two, right? One Horsepower says there's no Walmsley, but both Curry brothers are in Hard Rock. Yeah, isn't that crazy that there's two? It's like the Demores too. There's two brothers that are like running at an excellent level. I just think that that's like really unusual. And with the Curry brothers, like they're both such excellent runners. They're brothers. I mean, I guess it makes sense because like from a genetic standpoint, but it's just like, same family, so much talent, you know. Eric says, anyone been planning on doing the Tracksmith Twilight 5000 series of races? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Eric. I think there's a couple people here that are going to do it. Some people are doing the one in DC. I think we talked about earlier. I was talking about how I saw some footage from the one in, I think there was one in Boston, or maybe I have those cities reversed. But Eric wants to know if I'm going to do the one in August. I don't know if the dates work for me on that one. I have, you know what? I do have actually 2 trips in August. Now that I think about it, I just added one. That'll be a fun surprise for you guys. I'm not going to tell you guys about it yet. But I think that it might conflict. I have to double check the dates. And then Martha says, like, don't forget about the Ingebrigtsens. Yeah, that's true. Like, that's not just brothers. It's a whole family. There's the 3 brothers and then the sister, right? They're all good runners. So, Jody Beck says, I did the Gold Coast double, half marathon and marathon a couple of weeks ago in the Alpha Flies. It's the first super shoe I've run in. Can't believe how my legs have recovered so quickly. I mean, that's part of the magic of these shoes. They're good. They're really fun to race in. Really great shoes to race in. But they're also just a lot of fun in terms of how quickly you're going to get back out there and running again. So, very cool. All right. I think that's going to be a good place to leave it for today. We'll have one more day of live stream tomorrow, and then I'm going to head out to Eugene. So I'll see you guys then. No video tomorrow. We posted one today about the Prime X. So if you're interested in that one after 100 miles, go check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And in the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.